Hello, good morning, everyone. So, we are going to talk about today we are going to talk about Ansible Playbook, and we will see what are the elements we have to understand while you are preparing for the any play, which for deployment or for backup or anything you want to do configuration, as well as you want to capture the pre, post, or any ops activity. So let's move first, understand what are the component do we have in this. So okay, so playbook. So first we have the key for, like, Ansible is a key for the ad hoc command. Same way we have keyword that is called Ansible Playbook. That is called Ansible Playbook. This is key. So followed by this key, you can call your play or playbook. You need to call your playbook. That's all. Apart from this, you have to take care of the other component, like we have authentication. We will see how we're going to declare later on the different variable as a authentication. First we will give this authentication through hard coded with the command alignment. Later on we will create the variable and we're going to import those variables as a authentication. Now apart from that, we have very important element that is called inventory file. Without inventory file, there is no meaning of the playbook. So you have to define the inventory file. Who are the manage node? This is nothing. Who are the manage node, where you want to play manage node, where you want to play your this playbook, means this activity going to play on these manage nodes. So let's understand how this structure work. We will going to play with the each and every element, and we'll understand what is the role and how this is integrated with the inventory, with the implicit inventory as well as explicit inventory. And then we will see the major component as a authentication, like my username, password, how we can encrypt. Later in the advanced class we will see we have to encrypt this user and password. First time we will try to simplify first, then we will going to increase the level of complexity, how we can absolute this user password. Is should not come with the my command line. This is supposed to be automated, and this should not give me pass the repeated matter. Okay, so till here it's a clear. So we understand the component. First is Ansible key. That's Ansible hyphen playbook is a key word. Then followed by the playbook, what you have created playbook. So this playbook, what you going to create, that we going to study today. How you have to create this playbook, how you have to write your code. Okay, this is the major stuff. Now we will understand this. Once you understand this creating, then you have to integrate all this playbook as well as your inventory with your authentication. So these are the element: authentication, inventory file, you have playbook, and the play Ansible keyword as a Ansible play. So major four element of your Ansible playbook. So one itself is a key, second inventory file, third you have playbook itself, you have to create multiple plays, and then authentication. Okay, clear everyone? So let's create the most simplest playbook today. We will understand the structure of playbook. We will understand how to define the playbook, and you're supposed to uh, expert in this. You can write any playbook uh, being a network engineer. No need to become a network developer. I will teach you, I will make you understand each and everything. Even you should take care about the spaces in the programming. So let's jump to the programming part. Okay, so play, we are creating play. I'm talking about this play or playbook. Okay, so you know Ansible, YAML, YAML format. We already discussed about this YAML, JSON and XML. So we're going to see today YAML. Okay, and the JSON is a global format where the data is readable. So let's understand everything we will write in YAML. If you able to recall, you have starting with the 3 dash and your code going to be end with the 3 dot. So you're starting with the 3 dash, your end with the 3 dot, means you're opening the play, closing the play, opening the play, closing the play. Then you have to write your content within this. Let me understand any confusion in this. How to open the YAML play, how to close the play. Everyone.
Yes.
Guys, comfortable? Everyone. Play the YAML playbook, close the YAML playbook. Let's run this playbook. So to run the playbook, you need one notepad. Text, whether you're going to edit, you can write. So you have already installed this Sublime Text, or you can go for item. Okay, so you can go for item. Is another professional Cisco, all the Cisco developer follow the atoms, and apart from that you have other text editor also. So I'm going to do on the or you can do the Visual Studio Code also. So it's your preference on which text editor you are using. In the classroom already I given all the code how to install and test these code editors. Okay, text file. So I'm going to open the most simplest one which is already installed, and let me close this. Let me open, now cancel this. Let me open new file. So I'm going to open new file. So guys, everyone, I want please open new file because a few basic things you supposed to do with me, then I will ask you to stop later on. So everyone, you go your VM, you check your Sublime Text is installed or not. Guys, how do you check? You just type Sublime and use the tab, so you will see this. Are you able to see this, everyone? Yes, no?
Yep.
Yeah. So enter this. So this is going to pop up one of this. You can say that content cancel and create new. You can go file, new file. So untitled file supposed to be pop up. Everyone, Naval, Sagar, are you able to do this?
Yeah, but for me, it's a stable channel change log.
Yes, do cancel for this. Do cancel.
Oh, it is not cancel. It is on all the screen. One moment.
Okay, so if you are do this, now let's, what you have to do, YAML. try to understand here. Sagar, are you able to do also?
Ashok, just a minute. Actually, machine got restarted.
Okay, okay, then concentrate here.
Yeah.
So what you have to do, you have to save this file. That's important. If you don't save this file, they will not going to know about what code, what interpreter they required for this coding. So you have to click Control S. They will ask you where you want to save. So you can save your home directories because it's the directory accessible. Okay, so I'm going to save as a name. I'm going to give any name. So first day code, first day code. Okay, just you can give any name whatsoever, but you have to follow this the format, YAML format, .yaml .yaml, like .txt. Same way you have to give whatsoever name .yaml, and then enter your name going to be whatsoever name, first day code .yaml. Okay, now they will understand you are writing the code in YAML format. Your text is intelligent to understand you are developing some code. So what I'm going to do, so first thing, the hash is used for the comment. Hash is used for the comment. If you enter, you can see green here. You can see green here. Can you, Naval, Sagar, can you see this is green line?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So you can write whatsoever the command is. Means I want to do, so this is for comment only. Okay, hash symbol used for the comment. So this I will write 101 code, first code. Anything comments, just I given you examples. I will start my play. I given first 3 dash without any space and enter. You can see the, as you enter, your green line is followed with your enter. Then I'm going to close my play. I open my play, I close my play with the triple dot. Any confusion till here? No. So
No.
let's, so I open the play, I close the play. Let's play this playbook, okay, and understand what they required. If I am going to open the play and close the play, I did not pass any code, any command. Will this understand this play or not? Okay, this is most fundamental. You come with me, I will teach you each and every element. You never going to forget throughout your career, man. Okay, so let's do this. Ansible, the keyword is Ansible Playbook. That's the keyword, first element of the Ansible command. Then my second is my play. So what is my play name? Anyone? What is my play name? First code. What is my play name? First code .yaml. You have to use tab, it will take by them. And enter this. I'm using 2 elements only on this. I will show you all the elements. Okay, the most basic command and most basic fundamental play we have created, and we will do enter. Let's see what happened. Everyone, Sagar, what is the error?
The same error. Empty playbook, nothing to do.
Empty playbook, nothing to do. Yes, my playbook is empty, right? My playbook is empty or not? Tell me, guys.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, my playbook empty means this format is right. Whatsoever I wrote in the play, they have sense of the play. They have sense of the play. So let's give some content in play. Give some content in play. So do you remember we have dictionary and the list? So if you remember, let me go to the, if you remember, there's something I told you, something, let me show you first. YAML, That's the best documentation. If you go for Yamal Syntax here, click on this Yamal Syntax, and you have this Yamal Syntax. You can see that. So you can start with your triple quote and close your syntax. This is Yamal Syntax, and they're given the list. You have to give the list. Without a list, there is no meaning. Without list, your play, they don't have meaning. So what is list? List you can give anyway, means you have to, and in YAML you have two space of culture, two space. So in the list, first space will capture going to be the single dash, follow the space, and then your keyword associated with your list. So first I want to give name to my play. If I will not give the name to my play, it will give the error. Or if I will not going to introduce the list, the first list you have to introduce. Let me, I'm not going to give list. I will pass some output, some parameter. Suppose I'm giving the host name, host without a space, colon. That's the, what is that? That is called dictionaries, and then pass the value key and pass the value. So host my host, this is the my host or router, or I'm going to give the router. Okay, some hosts I give. I'm going to save this. Now you see what error going to be given. I save, I run this. Now the error is different. What is the error this time? Naval, can you tell me what is the error? The play must be a
Yes.
list of the play, because there is no list defined. So what you have to define the list. So I'm going to remove this. So how you can define? You can give the name to your play. So I'm going to give the name. Is the name is a, what is name? Name is a key, and I will pass the value. Always there is two space, one space captured by the single dash because the list, followed by the single space, then name followed by the colon, and then space. So what is the name? What is the name of this play? I will give any, my first code, my very first code, my very first code. Okay guys, this is the name. Let's save this. This is my play. I given to one name to my play, and I'm going to play this. That's what going to happen. Oh, now those errors are gone, but the new error comes. So tell me what is new error? Nikhil, can you tell me what is new error? The,
It's looking for some host information.
yes, the field host is required but was not set. Means there is, I told you, there is a required component. Without that, it's not going to work. So play having list, first thing whatsoever, I given the list as a name, and then inventory, where you want to work, what you want to work, who are the manage node. Play do some activity on the manage node. So you, some node you need to define, some host you need to define, then only your playbook will be complete. Otherwise there is no meaning. So what are the mandatory component? The list. Second component, your host. I'm going to give the host the keyword. I will follow the two spaces. Always follow two spaces. Don't use tab, man. Start using the space. Okay, spend the quality time for coding, because you can copy paste also from Google some code, but you are not able to do if you don't know the technique behind the coding and placement of the element or attributes, variables, tags. Okay, let's understand then. So I have the code host, then followed by the host. So these are the looking for inventory. Let's check what are the inventory do we have. So I will go for the cat and I will check my inventory in the that we have, sorry, etc Ansible, and we have host. So we have something called routers. This is the host. So I'm using this class so that all three router 10, 20, 30 going to cover, because I have already in inventory. So I will use same thing, routers. Okay, the hosts are routers. So let's save this. So only the opening, closing, listing and host I given the two command I did, and I save this code and I'm going to run this. So my play going to run. Let's see what happened this time. Wow, this play is run, but there is some error. I will come to the error later on. But what happened here? I want to test. Let me test for not for router. I want to test for my local loopback, local host. So let's do the local host. Let's do the local host. So I'm not going to test. I'm not testing this on the router because I saw some error. I want to understand what is the, I want to understand what is the component, what are the element by default running with the play. Then later on we will see the challenges to connect with the rack with this play. Clear guys? So I use the local host. As those, what's the benefit of local host? Because they don't have any error, because you can see local host always inbuilt with the system. So how do you going to identify this? So you can do the cat etc host. So you can see there is a local host introduced as this local host. So I use the same keyword for the local host. Clear guys? Why do I use the local host? So I use the local host, the same spelling what we have here, and we're going to run the play now. So if I run the play now, so this pass. Okay, so we can see the gather facts localhost and the play. What are the component? Try to understand. There are three component, guys. Okay, why this component is important? Let me show you this component. What they say this about this component? They say that so we have play. What is this play? The play, the name, whatsoever you pass your name, the first list of your play that going to be print. So my very first code, that's my play name. Okay, this is single play, and they have default task that is called gathering facts. And at the end, after doing this task, they recap the play. They recap the play. So three major component of the play. Let's come to this. So three major component of play. So first component, play name. First component, it is play name. Second, we have play task, the task he has to do, and then play recap. Sorry, play recap. So these are the major. Any output you have this play name, what you want to do, minimum this, then task, then play recap. What happened? The okay, clear guys? Till here, you guys, everyone comfortable? Understand?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so three component we have tested for local host And let's do Astos. I want to test for not localhost, for different than localhost. So we have, if you see the command, there is a Linux 1 user, Linux 1, another. So I want to use for Linux 1 as a host. Linux 1 as a host. Let's see the challenge. What are the challenge we are receiving in this play? See guys, I'm keep on changing on my play, and I'm going to call my first code YAML dot, and we see that some error came. Let's understand this error. Could not match supply host pattern, ignoring Linux 1. Skipping no host match means it's telling there is no mention in the inventory. Which inventory? The host inventory of what? Ansible. This is explicitly defined for the local host. But as soon as you are connecting with this play to other than any local host, even though your local host different username Linux 1, it will not allow. You have to explicitly maintain into your Ansible inventory. What do you mean by that? So let's see that. So we have etc.
So that means if we add this Linux one in our Ansible inventory, so will it be resolve this?
Yes, right. Suppose here we did not find any inventory for Linux 1. Okay, that's the question. But we have the inventory in the system. So we have to add this inventory and this Ansible. So how do I do? Let's understand. So we will go for sudo vim and we will add it etc Ansible and then hosts. We will follow the privilege level and then we're going to define this. So how are you going to define? I will give one insert and then I will give one play. So that called local user or local. Just I will keep as a local and I will give 127.0.1.1, that's the IP. Okay, and I will, yes, that's the one, or I will give the host name as a Linux, anything you want, Linux. So you give both so that it's going to define by anything, it's going to define. So this is I have done, and I'm going to escape, right, wait, and then so you have inventory file now available. I will check this. You can see that now I'm going to play this playbook and we'll see what's going to happen. Yes, so you saw first output. This time the play is run. They did not skip the host name, but there is an error to connect because I told you there is another component in the previous, that's called authentication. So who will authenticate? For localhost there is no issue because that's a inbuilt. But as soon as other than localhost, then your issue, the problem is you have to add the
SSH.
component. So my user is, I will tell Linux 1 and prompt for password. A Linux 1 is user, prompt for password student. Sorry, I think the user is a student and password is a student, right? Okay guys, are you guys
Right.
understanding? So this is clear, everyone.
Yes.
Okay, so you understand, these are the warning. They says that I will come to on warning, but you just ignore these warnings. We can suppress this warning. Okay, first you understand my play is contain the play name. Then by default there is a task, something called gathering facts. We will come on detail, we will going to understand. And then play recap, whatever the play you run, they're going to recap. It's a how many code is run, it's a unreachable, it's a failed. You can see here in the scenario it's an unreachable one, remaining okay and changed and failed, skipped, recused and ignored are zeros. If you see it's a pass is coming as a recap as a okay one. So I'm going to stop the recording over here. If you have any question, let me know. Okay, we will see you in next class. Any questions, guys?
Ashu, in localhost, can we add more than one host name?
No, local host is the inbuilt. That's the inbuilt.
No,
Because
when
this
in
is come, let me show. This is come for your loopback testing, bro. This is for your loopback.
okay, that I understand. Go to this notepad in my first day code. This
Sorry, I did not get
my
you.
can you open this notepad? My first day code where
Okay, my
we
first day
code.
code, you want to open this. Okay.
Okay, so in host we have mentioned only Linux one. So suppose if you want to test Linux one plus localhost plus routers, so can we add
Yes,
in?
very good question. Yes, we can do, you can do the local host. I want to both this. Okay, right? Your question is that. So let me do this. And then I will add the router also. I'm going to add the router. Or I'm going to add only one router. So I will do the 192.168. I'm going to cover these all in detail in upcoming classes because okay, this is very elementary. You can give by a space, you have to give your consecutive host name. So you can go here and you can call your play. So here the challenge, you will see the error because they have different users and privilege level. So but you can run and you can see the output. So what going to happen for Linux one, you need to give the privilege. For localhost is a pass, they don't need, and they given the one by one every how much these two are unreachable because they don't have credential. If I will pass the credential
Okay.
like I passed to only, you will see that this Linux will pass this, they have different credential than this, so that's going to be fail. So you can see that. Okay, you can see the warning, but only the fail is
Right.
the router one. If I will pass the credential for router one, so we will see the different credential with the different. So you will see this time Linux one going to be fail and my router going to be pass.
Mhm. Okay.
Oh wow, yes. So you will see the new error with the router. We have different challenges, and they are telling that because there is no interpreter running Python interpreter, we will see what are the resolved solution. Means they have come with the failed one. Means some issue. There is no issue with the unreachable. They can able to reach, but there is the failed because of there is component which is not running. Do you remember the raw module give you solution to connect with the router switches because they don't they are not running with the Python interpreter. That's a challenge. We will see what type of error we are getting. So till here clear, guys. We will see you in next class. Bye bye.
Sure. Yeah.